We're here with week 4 of the 2013 season of South Carolina Gamecocks, and this is following the week 3 heartbreaker loss to Vanderbilt, who defeated the then ranked number 4 South Carolina Gamecocks at William Brice Stadium. So this week we are going to update as far as what's going on throughout this NCAA season so far, take a look at the stats, and possibly look at the recruiting style. But right now, let's take a look at the top 25 poll. As we know, we were stating earlier that the week 3 upset might have shifted the balance. Number 1 rank, Alabama's on top still. Next up is Ohio State. Then Oregon, who took a jump from number 6 to number 3. Florida from number 7 to number 4. Louisville from number 8 to number 5. Oklahoma from 9 to 6. Georgia 10 to 7. Texas A&M, who suffered a loss from Alabama, from number 5 to number 8 now. Texas, a 3-point jump from 12 to 9. And South Carolina is fallen 6 spots on the coaches poll, from number 4 to number 10 after the loss to an unranked Vanderbilt team. Boise State jumps up from 14 to 11. Clemson jumps up 1 from 13 to 12. Notre Dame from 15 to 13. Number 14's UCLA. Louisiana State next at number 15. Oregon State jumps up to number 17. Northern Illinois, number 18. Stanford drops after a loss to Army from the number 3 team in the nation to number 19. Michigan at number 20. Vanderbilt, after the win over number 4 South Carolina, jumps up to the 21 team. TCU at 23. Florida State at 24. And another loss bringing Nebraska back from number 19 to number 25. So next up, we're taking a look at the conference standings. Vanderbilt over South Carolina right now in the conference. 2 wins, 1 loss for both Vanderbilt and South Carolina, but Vanderbilt obviously owns that winning privilege. Florida, a 2-0 team. Tennessee, a 2-1 team. And let's take a look at the West standings. Alabama, 2-0, top of the conference. Auburn, 2-1. Ole Miss, 2-1. Arkansas at 3-0. LSU at 2-1, and Texas A&M at 2-1. But Arkansas isn't ranked any higher in the West standings just because they do not own any wins in their division. So let's take a look at the Heisman hopefuls. Johnny Manziel, number 1 quarterback from Texas A&M. Andrew McLaren, quarterback from Alabama. Braxton Miller, another quarterback. So 3 straight quarterbacks. DeAnthony Thomas, halfback from Oregon, and owning up, last but not least, Blake Bell, quarterback from Oklahoma. So let's take a look at the players of the week for the NCAA. Left outside linebacker George Durant. 8 total tackles, 2 for loss, 3 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery to start off week 1. And Ohio State's Braxton Miller, a Heisman hopeful, who's 15 of 21, 296 yards in the air, 80 yards on the ground, and 5 total touchdowns in week 1 over Buffalo. Now let's take a look at week 2 coming up next. The left outside linebacker, no left outside linebacker for defensive side for week 2. Stephon Sanders, 7 total tackles, 2 for a loss, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 1 fumble recovery. With Taj Boyd being the week 2 offensive player of the week. Chris Davis, an SEC player from Auburn, 12 tackles, 2 for loss, forced fumble, 3 interceptions. And Logan Thomas to wrap up the offensive side of the week. And let's go to the SEC to see if any players have differentiated. As you see here, Charles Sawyer from from Ole Miss against Vanderbilt. Tyler Russell from Mississippi State in week 2, 5 total touchdowns. And a left outside linebacker, Kurt Magid from Tennessee, who was outstanding against Western Kentucky University. And week 3, Chris Davis, as we saw in the NCAA Player of the Week as well. And Jonathan Williams, a halfback from Arkansas. So next up, we're going to take a look at the stats for the season so far. And in passing, Shaw is ranked only below Southwick, who leads the nation with 1,035 yards passing. Shaw's 923. Brandon Wilds is ranked 54th in the nation with 220. And Scott from Ole Miss leads the nation with 433, who's tied with Jay Lee from Air Force Academy. And Air Force is known for running the ball, but Ole Miss's Scott is able to tie him as well. Receiving yards, Mike Davis, who has 433 yards in catching this season. Texas Tech's Ward with 429, and our tight end, South Carolina's tight end Rory Anderson, is rounding up the top 25. He's number 24 with 276 yards so far receiving this year. Alright, now time to take a flip look at the defensive side of the ball. TJ Holloman, the redshirt freshman for South Carolina Gamecocks, the middle linebacker, is second only to Jay Marsh from Akron, who has 22 solo tackles this year. TJ Holloman has 18. Alexander and Butler, Alexander from Tulsa and Butler from Vanderbilt, are tied for third with 15 tackles. NCAA sack leaders, Johnson from Temple, who has an astounding 5.5 sacks coming into the 4th week of play. Edmond from Louisiana Monroe and Reed from Texas are second with 4 sacks. And Sutton's going to lead your Gamecocks with 2.0 sacks, but that is not going to be the only sacks this team has. This team is coming into the quarterback's back pocket many times. NCAA interception leaders, Gilbert from Oklahoma State and Brown from Ohio State, each with 4. But Holloman's going to lead the Gamecocks with 2. He's not only the leader in tackles with 18, but he has the total interceptions leader so far with 2. As you can see there are many players that are tied for third. But with that being said, guys, we're just going to end it there. We're going to take a look at the leaders and the players of the week. Unfortunately, last week we suffered a loss from an unranked team from Vanderbilt. But this offense and defense are going to look to make a point to say we're not done yet when we travel to Central Florida to take on the Knights. Coach Wilson and the Gamecocks hope to see you there. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like if you did. Comment if you want, subscribe if you haven't. Check in the description below for the other in the Dynasty videos as well as my channel. I hope you're having a great day.